Growing up, I always knew I wasn't attracted to women. Although I love and appreciate and admire women, the idea of being sexually attracted to or have a romantic relationship with a woman was always kind of physically and mentally repulsed me. And I didn't really know what this meant for me through my teenage years, or even when I went on my mission. I kind of figured that I would go on my mission, and after my mission everything would just work out, and that I would be able to marry a woman and to have an eternal family. After my mission is when things kind of started hitting me. I started realizing that as I started dating girls, I couldn't find the attraction or the connection that I really wanted. There was no way I could feel like I could want to be in a marriage with a woman, and it was really hard for me to deal with. I dealt with a lot of mental anguish. I went into deep depression, and I used to deal with a lot of suicidal thoughts. Going to BYU, there's a lot of pressure to date and to get married, and every time I went to church, I just felt horrible. I didn't feel like I was living up to my priesthood obligations. And it started to become not a uplifting experience that I think religion should be. And it really got me down. I remember one time walking to the temple up from campus to the Provo Temple, and I looked at the temple and I saw everything before my eyes of what the temple symbolized to me, of eternal family, of having a marriage that lasted forever and having a family that lasted forever. And that really resonated deeply into my soul, and I started to cry and realize that I would never have that. I would never have a marriage to a woman that I would want to be in forever, and that I could never have the ideal Mormon salvation or life that I wanted to live. I once talked to my stake president about it, and he told me that the thoughts and the ideas that I was having were unnatural and a perversion. And he recommended that I go to reparative therapy, and he recommended a few different options. And I soon came to realize that that wasn't going to work for me. I went to a few sessions, and the attraction to the same sex didn't diminish, and I didn't increase in attraction towards women. Coming out has been a process for me over the last probably 2 years. I told my parents about 2 years ago, and I've slowly come out to other people. After graduating, I started dating, and being able to date has been one of the most amazing experiences. I've been able to find connections, not only physical, but intellectual, social, and emotional connections that I've never had with anybody else in my life. And it has felt so good to be free of the shame and the guilt that I once had for having these feelings. And although I do still consider myself Mormon, and I always will, I know that for me, living a celibate life as something too much to ask for. I think life is supposed to be enjoyed, and I think a romantic relationship is an essential human right that everyone should be able to experience. And it's definitely a beautiful thing. For me, the reason why I was suicidal is I could only see two roads. A road of embracing a homosexual lifestyle and sinning in this life, or a road of hiding these feelings and living in hell in this life. And those choices didn't seem fun, or it didn't seem at all anything I wanted to choose. And trying to reconcile my faith and my feelings, it was so hard that some days I didn't want to get out of bed. I just didn't want to move, because I had so much anguish and pain that came from trying to do that. A lot of times I just wish I was dead, and a lot of times I would try to come up with ways to kill myself, and it just wasn't a fun period in my life at all. I think one of the experiences that helped me out a lot was I went to a CES fireside where Elder Uchtdorf talked to those people who are having problems with dating and with marriage. And he actually stated in his talk that sometimes he receives letters from people that say, "Why should I go on living? This life doesn't seem worth living to me." And he said that suicidal thoughts and feelings are something of a serious nature, and that you needed to get help. And so when I heard that talk, I felt that he was talking to me. And I did go get help from the BYU Counseling Center, which kind of absolutely blew my mind when I went to see the counselor. I told her about my homosexual feelings, and she said there's nothing wrong with that. And she said, you can still be a member of the church and find a lifetime partner, and you just won't be able to go to the temple. And hearing something from that, like that from a BYU employee, a counselor, just blew my mind. And at the time, I wasn't ready for that. It kind of really scared me, and I didn't know what to think about what she was saying to me. But that experience really helped me to progress and to move on.